Welcome everyone to our weekly UK Zoom call. This is a call that we do for all of our North American coaches as well as all their United Kingdom friends, future customers, and future coaches. If you're on this call, we are glad you're on here. This is a call that happens every Tuesday at 8 p.m. British Standard Time, and we bring you the best of the best, and we have none other than Chalene Johnson on this call. Before I introduce her, I do want to go over some quick housekeeping items. Number one, if you're not on the UK pre-launch page, make sure you get on there and fill out the survey. We want to know where you're from so that we can plan where we're going to be coming, and hopefully you come somewhere near you. The second thing, for those of you that do not know, and most of you should know, the UK launch event is getting closer. We're getting to the 50 some odd days until the launch event in October. Reminder that there are still spots available on both the morning and afternoon business sessions. You'll want to be there. You get to hear from Carl and John, Michael and Jeff. You get to hear from SJ and Thomas and so many more. You get to see some success stories. We basically tell you why exactly you want to be a coach in the United Kingdom. So those are the two things we've got. We obviously have this call, and we have a packed call, Chalene, and it's a tremendous call. It's obviously you have fans from across the world, across the United States, Canada, and now in the United Kingdom. For those of you that do not know, Chalene is one of our super trainers. Creator of Chalene Extreme, Payo, Turbo Fire, Turbo Jam. I can go on and on. She also is a phenomenal personal development speaker. She hosts seminars. She has incredible tools to help you grow as a human being, but has made such a tremendous impact on our coaching network. And most recently, she spoke at our summit, and her talk lit the stage and the whole stadium on fire. So, Chalene, the topic today is right up your alley. Obviously, the United Kingdom and curiosity marketing. The floor is yours. Welcome to the call.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. It's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to share my passion with others like yourself and so many of the people who are watching today. So I just wanted to, first of all, set the stage and let you know that it's really of great value to me that you would spend your time with me, and I promise to deliver on that. I know that time is precious, and so there's a true investment when you're taking the time out of your own life to watch something like this. So it's my guarantee that you will walk away from this with a real understanding of what this is about and what possibilities are there, and if in fact this is the right fit for you. I wondered, though, if I could start with a question, which is, do you have any idea what the average household debt is in the UK? It is over £13,000 per household, and that's just an average. And I wonder if people realize that over 80% of businesses fail in the first year. 80%, that's kind of crazy. So what I wanted to know is if people who are watching would be interested in learning how they could not just climb out of debt, but maybe even get to a place where they had extra income, or maybe even for some people, the type of income that would allow them the freedom to make a decision about their career or helping a family member out, or just the financial peace of mind that so many of us crave. Because what I want to share with you is how it is possible today to create extra income. And it doesn't even have to be a business, because I think so many people, the idea of having a business is kind of scary, and rightfully so, knowing 80% of them fail. And when we hear about a statistic like that, you don't realize how much debt, pain, divorce, problems with relationships happen when people start a business and it fails. So what I want to share with you today is something I'm really, really passionate about, because it's a way to create extra income without risk, a way to start your own business, a way to find fulfillment and happiness and create that financial peace of mind that is possible when you've got the right opportunity. But I think it kind of helps if I can go back and share my own story a little bit, if that's possible. So thank you. So I'm going to set my light up here. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great, and absolutely, please share your story.
I'd love to. Okay, I'm just going to set my light up here. Irene, can you grab that for me? Thanks, love. Awesome. And you can probably just like turn it. So just to share with you a little bit about my own background, I've always been an entrepreneur. I started, as most serial entrepreneurs do, you start like in middle school, figuring out that you can create extra income by hustling or selling something or helping people. And I did that myself. I started, my very first business was flipping cars. Now, I'm not sure if that term translates. That's perfect. If that term translates as well for those in the UK, but basically that means you're buying a car, a beat up old yucky car, and fixing it up cosmetically, and then reselling it for profit. And that's kind of what I did through high school and college to support myself. And it was like my first entrepreneurial success, if you will. So I've always had businesses. I think some people assume that I've always been in fitness. Not true. Probably like many people are considering the coaching opportunity. I felt like I didn't have any business being in fitness because I didn't look like those people. I'm 5'2". I was always a chubby kid. I wasn't a great dancer. So like that was something that evolved because of my love for helping people. So I started being an entrepreneur and tried several different businesses. Eventually my husband and I created a company that certified fitness instructors on how to teach fitness programs. This is over 20 years ago. And we also started an apparel company. And it brought so much joy and freedom to my life, but it was difficult and challenging because I had to create all the products. I had to carry all the inventory. I had to take all the risks. There was a point at which my husband and I were both together. We were $500,000 in debt. So it's not easy, but it also provided so much joy and freedom that it's what I wanted for my family and my sister and my mom and everyone. And so my younger sister, Janelle, who happens now to be a Beachbody coach, before she decided to do that, I kept telling she was in this job, this corporate job where she was like the star employee and so dedicated and worked nonstop. But I could see that it was unfulfilling and really hard. And she didn't have the same kinds of freedoms and joys that I was experiencing. So I kept pushing her to become an entrepreneur. Eventually, she did. And she and her husband started a restaurant. I guess they wanted more stress in their lives. So they started a restaurant and it didn't do well. It failed and it caused them a lot of heartache and pain. And I felt a little bit responsible for that because I kept pushing her to do her own thing. So if I can fast forward in the story a little bit, Beachbody came to me and they were aware of these programs they had in health clubs. And they said, we would really like to bring this to consumers and turn it into an infomercial. We did. My first infomercial was called Turbo Jam, and it was a #1 infomercial. And then I did Chalene Extreme. And shortly after that, Beachbody really started to realize that, people weren't watching TV as much. And what was happening was that people were losing weight. And then, as you know, when you lose weight, people go, what are you doing? So you're on some diet? Are you doing some special workout? And when that would happen, the customers, the fans, the true users of the products became the groundswell that got everybody else excited. And then they would say, well, how can I get my hands on this program? And eventually what Beachbody realized was there's an incredible opportunity for people who are already using the product to be able to benefit financially from recommending it to their friends and family members, even if they're at the beginning of their journey. That opportunity is now called the coaching opportunity. But if you're familiar with network marketing is not a new concept. It's a proven concept. Today, I think probably most people assume I do fitness full time. I don't. I do videos for Beachbody, but my full-time job is helping entrepreneurs from all different backgrounds, whether they're doctors, lawyers, they've got a brick and mortar, any types of businesses. I help them build their businesses. And without fail, I always tell people, network marketing is the real deal. And I can't think of a better network marketing opportunity than the Beachbody opportunity. And I've seen them all, trust me, because it's real fitness. It's who could argue with helping people get healthier. Like you can argue with the viability of a soap or a cleaning product or some of this other, wonderful network marketing stuff, but it's just a little tougher to get behind. Something people need every single day is accountability, is health and fitness. So when Beachbody said, we're going to turn this opportunity into a network marketing opportunity for our customers, I saw that as another opportunity for my friends, my family members, the people that I love. Because think about it, if you know something works, you want to tell your friends and family members about it, right? And so all my life, I wanted the people who I love to become entrepreneurs, but without the same risk. So when Beachbody made that opportunity available, I'm going to tell you this honestly. I told my sister and my mom and my brother and my best friends, don't do this yet. Just wait. And let's see how it pans out. And I did that because I had my own fear of like, all I have is my integrity. All I have is my word. I don't want to encourage anyone to do something that isn't going to work. My husband, Brett, and I used our own money and hired consultants from top network marketing organizations outside of Beachbody to analyze Beachbody's comp program. I don't think a lot of people know that. They looked at the viability of it long term. They looked at the management and the fulfillment and every aspect of it. So I could know in my own research, not what I was being told by the company that I was working with, but for myself, is this legit? Is it viable? And after a year's time, I literally flew my sister and a lot of my best friends and people from all over the country who had had long-term relationships with to Southern California and shared with them the research and said, I think you should do this. I think you need to do this. And I can tell you that some of those people are millionaires today and some did nothing with it. Some were like, that's interesting. I just want the discount. And there are those of you watching today who it'll be mildly interesting. You'll be interested in the discount. And then there will be those of you who really understand that this is about helping people and persistence. And it's not a sprint. If you sprint, you'll run out of breath. You'll run out of steam. You'll run out of passion, motivation. If you just keep moving forward, using your due diligence, planning ahead now before this opportunity opens up to all of the UK, what is possible for you is what I like to call freedom of choice, freedom of saying, you know what, I don't have much time for it this month. So I'm just going to devote a couple of hours to it this month. And next month, I've got like a week off and I'm really going to dig deep and I'm going to push my business forward. You've got the freedom to be able to put as much effort into it and make it your full-time income or something that pays a couple of bills. And either way, I don't think there's anyone who's watching who couldn't benefit from having additional passive income. Like if there's one thing I'm super passionate about, and I have a podcast where I specifically speak to business builders. And I always say to them, if you have a job and I don't care if you are the top employee you are best friends with the CEO, none of that is guaranteed. If you're in a job, it's not. Like this is life and things can happen. Natural disasters, companies get bought out, younger people come on, you name it. I've seen it happen time and time again. Don't wait. Don't wait until someone has a health scare in your family. Don't wait until you realize your son or daughter isn't going to get the college tuition they're looking for. Build passive income now when it's not urgent, when you want that freedom that's available to you. What I'm talking about is the opportunity to become a Beachbody coach. So if I can share with you some terminology, I am what's called a Beachbody super trainer, which means I can't be a coach. And that makes me angry because I would love to be a coach. I would kill it. I would kill it as a coach because I freaking love this stuff. I love what I do, but like I just see so many people that I could help. And to think that you could start a business, it blows my mind that for such a teeny tiny, like literally a nothing investment, people build a business. They don't have to carry inventory. Most multi-level marketing, network marketing organizations make you carry a boatload of inventory, which is why you'll hear like all these like, oh, they make this much money in the beginning. Sure they do, because they got to buy all this stuff and house it in their house and they have to ship it. You don't have to do anything. except show up and be helpful and don't sell. Again, I teach people how to build businesses. I teach multi-level marketing network executives how to be at the top. And there's one thing I can tell you. If you sell, it doesn't work. You have to be in this to help people. Do your research. Look at the people who are at the top at Beachbody. Look up their names. Follow them in social media. What you will see is they're not selling. They're helping people. And that's a really big misconception about network marketing. I think a lot of people like to use it as an excuse. They're like, oh, I tried it. It wasn't for me because I'm not into sales. I'm like, well, it's not for you and it didn't work because you were probably trying to sell. I encourage you to do a little research and find out who the top people are and have been and look at what they're doing. They're just showing up with consistency. They're letting people know who they are. They're connecting with people on the things that matter to them, which isn't always about health and fitness. I see some of the top coaches in this organization are killing it because they're connecting with a community, not just a fitness community, because here's the deal. Everybody needs health and fitness. So if I can tap into my niche, which maybe is mothers who are dealing with an autistic child, or if I can tap into my niche, which may be people who love horseback riding, or people who are homeschooling their children, or people who are in corporate jobs where they're trying to find a way out. Like, if you can tap into your niche is what will solidify that relationship. What everybody needs is health and fitness. That's the easy part. And I've watched countless people change their lives with this opportunity. I'm a super trainer. When I first came on at Beachbody, it was myself and Tony Horton. Then Sean T came along, and now each and every year we bring on more and more super trainers. And that is because Beachbody offers you every kind of fitness program you could possibly imagine, because I might not be your cup of tea. You might want someone who's louder and meaner. You might want someone who's, who knows? But whatever there needs to be for you to find your soulmate workout, Beachbody offers it in their catalog. They offer a solution to everything. And not just a solution, a personality, because fitness, in order to be motivated to do it, you gotta fall in love not just with the program, but with the trainer. You've got to love their personality, or you're not going to do it. If you're not looking forward to it, you're not going to do it. And Beachbody makes sure they give you so many different personality types, so many different types of workout, something for people who are just beginning, super fit, something for people who want to just improve flexibility or strength. You name it, your goal will be met by one of the programs that Beachbody offers. And you'll notice that they do things very, very differently from most all other companies. They do things slow and they do them right. Where I think my observation has been with a lot of other companies, they just bang out all these products and without much thought about quality and integrity and what customers really want and need. And I can tell you that this has changed the lives of my best friends, my sister, my mom, and I encouraged them to do this way, years ago because I believed in it, and I still believe in it today, or you wouldn't see me here speaking to you. So my call to action is to ask you to sit up nice and straight, pull your shoulder blades back, and to start with a belief that this is possible for you. I'm not talking about building this crazy, grand, multi-million-dollar business, but if you believe that it is possible to create extra income, and that's something that you desire, and you want to help people, and you're not into pushing sales on people, this is an opportunity that you don't want to miss. And the best way, as I always say, to have an advantage is to show up first. Like, to be an early settler. Can somebody get into this who joins in from the UK 2 years from now? Of course. But you've got the advantage if you get there early and you know all the rules and you know what's coming and you've done your homework and you've done your research and you really feel like you understand what this is and how to best help people. Because your favorite program is not going to be the right fit for every person who you want to help. So my call to action to you today is to reach out. If somebody invited you to this call, I encourage you to put me on pause right now and text them or email them and say, I'm in. Put me in, coach. Let's do this. What's the risk? The only risk is kicking yourself a year from now going, why didn't I do this sooner? I mean, I had some regret when I waited a year to, like, I kept pulling everybody back saying, don't do it yet. Let me just do a little more research. I don't want you to regret, because a year from now, everything's going to be the same unless you do something scary and something that's different and you commit. Because it's not just about saying, okay, sign me up, I want to be a coach. It's like, I'm not going to lie to you. There's work involved. How much work is up to you? A couple hours a day? That's awesome. A couple hours a week? Maybe. It's whatever you decide to put into it, you will get back. So make that decision, commit, reach out to the person who invited you to this call. Do that now, put me on pause, because what I'm going to do is take questions from the audience so I can better answer some of those for you.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Chalene. I particularly enjoy the fact that you did your research, and it's very parallel to what people are doing right now. They're doing their research. Some of them have connected with coaches. Some of them are just getting into their challenge group. So we've got kind of all areas here. There's a few right now in the comments saying, I'm in. Front row divas, you make sense, so inspirational. They're calling out their coach and saying, I'm in. This is moving people into action quickly. So I do have some questions, and I know there's a few questions. I'll go ahead and just scan through, Chalene.
Sure.
And have a few that I think will pertain to a lot of people here. So number one is social media. So you've talked a lot about curiosity marketing, and the challenge with some people is they get so excited and they just kind of word vomit over all those people. So two things: number one, how do you find your niche? And then number two, how do you find how to talk to your niche?
Yeah. Well, I don't mean this to be a plug for my podcast, but I do a podcast where I specifically give you the steps for that, because it is a little more involved than what I can share in the limited time we have available. But I can give you some general principles. Before I do that, though, write this down. Build Your Tribe. It's a free podcast. It's on iTunes. You can listen to it from any podcast app, regardless of the phone that you have. And it's available globally. And there's a couple of episodes I've done just recently, specifically about the changes in social media in the last 6 months. But I have to say this. Here's what works. Authenticity, not selling, not leading with your product. This is, I'm a really big stickler about this. The second I lead with, this is my, like, hi guys, like, I love my new headphones. Like, I'm selling them. Like, that's one thing I see so many network marketers do. And it's a terrible mistake. It's a rookie move, because then all you are telling the world is, I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in you knowing I'm selling something. And like, nobody likes that. We follow people on social media because they're interesting, they're motivating, they're inspirational, they're good storytellers, they're authentic, and there's something about them that we like and we see in ourselves and we connect with it. And we like funny. Did I mention sales in there anywhere? No, nobody likes selling, and nobody likes it. There's nothing attractive about constantly leading with whatever your product is. So I always tell people, lead with curiosity. Instead of holding these up, if I went like this, can you see them just a little bit, Arnold?
Yes, we can.
If I were to say, you guys, I just have to tell you, I've been searching for the most perfect pair of headphones for like 3 months. I've spent a fortune on headphones, but they're too tight on my ears, or they break after a month and I can't figure them out. And I have found the most amazing pair of headphones. Done. What are you going to do? You're going to reach out to me and say, I got to know who makes those. Where do I get them? If I give you all the information, hey guys, these are my favorite headphones. They cost $19.99. You can get them on Amazon. The conversation is done. The goal in social media is to get a conversation going. So you lob just a little bit out, enough so that people go, well, I would like to know more. And then you put it in their court, so they have to ask more. So when we lead with, hi, I'm doing PIO, and it's this most amazing workout, and you can get it from me. Now what I can do is I can simply go online and I can Google PIO, and I can find probably a counterfeit and buy it from somebody who's not affiliated with Beachbody. I can get something back that isn't, you see what I'm saying? I've lost the opportunity to connect with that person as not just a customer, but a potential coach, a potential friend, someone who I can mentor. If I give you all of the details that you need to do a Google search, it's done. So give people the information without giving them the goods. You've got to, don't give away all the information, because it's about building rapport and building a relationship. Be honest, be yourself. Don't look at what another coach is doing and try to be them, because it won't come across as authentic. You gotta be you.
Excellent stuff. And I think it's so critical to start with wanting to help others. You've helped a ton of people. And so one of the key foundations that we have is fitness. Before we launch, why or what do you think is the importance of your personal transformation through fitness before we launch and you become a coach?
I think it's important. I don't think it's essential. I know a lot of people who are top coaches who didn't have a physical transformation. I think what's really more important is authenticity and sharing any story. When I say, listen, guys, I want to tell you a story, and this is very personal. Everyone stops and they lean in. I think if you do have a transformation, that's awesome. It's a bonus. But you've got to use it the right way. As soon as you tell people here's the program that I used, and you give the title of the program. Now, everyone, you guys all know this. You Google it before you have a conversation with someone, because you don't want to be sold. So you've got to start with enough information that people want to ask. I think before and after photos are great. I personally, and this is my advice, I know a lot of people don't agree with my advice. I've seen opposite. People doing the exact opposite. I don't think you should tell people what you got your transformation with until they ask. As soon as you broadcast it out, it's done. Now someone can Google search it. When they Google search it, they're going to come across somebody else who's done a really great job of creating a YouTube video, and you've just lost that person as a customer and a coach. More importantly, you've lost the opportunity to connect. And the most powerful, and the people who do this the easiest, the people who have the easiest time of this, just really understand it's about connecting. They don't overcomplicate it. They just really simplify the process and just go, okay, what is it I would connect with, and who is it I'm trying to help? And they just don't overcomplicate it.
Phenomenal advice. The last question, I know we're coming up at the end of our 30 minutes with you. These have been incredible. If you guys are getting any takeaways or lots of takeaways, post them below. The last question is, you and Brett formed this incredible couple. And I think it was about 2 weeks ago you got really candid about relationships in general. Now, we have a lot of customers, a lot of coaches that are trying to bring their spouse on board, right? That question. What's the best way to do that, to bring your spouse on board, either fitness or business?
Yay! Okay. We're gonna need another hour, because this topic gets me excited. But I'll start with what not to do. What not to do is to say things like, you need to support me. This is for me. This is something I want to do. This is something that I need your support in. It's all this like finger wagging. You have to remember that you're on the same team. You have to remember that what you're interested in is not what he's interested in. But there are components to this that you're not interested in, and he is. A great example of this, I'm going to use a football analogy. My husband is a football coach. When he starts talking plays and routes that they run, I like glaze over. But when he starts talking about his players' home life and what these kids are like, and then he starts telling me about this kid, his mother died when he was in middle school. I'm all in, and I'm really interested, because that's the piece that interests me. In other words, your partner, you know what they're interested in and what they're not interested in. Some people are interested in numbers, then lead with that. Some people are interested in the social media side of it, then lead with that. Some people are interested in just don't lead with the thing that's interesting to you, lead with the thing that's interesting to them, and then say, I need you. Not, I need you too, or you better, or this is for me. It's, I'm better with you. You're so much better at this. You're so good at this. I love it when we together. And then, ultimately, I don't know if there's kids watching. If there are, cover their ears. But you know what else fixes everything is just have more sex. If you have more sex with your partner, that kind of fixes everything. They're nicer to you and kinder to you, and just do that. If my mom's watching, she's horrified right now, but that's the truth. Because here's the deal. When we go to do something new, right? Like especially something like this, it's like a new business. It's scary. And what your partner is scared of, or it feels like they're not supporting you, it's not that they don't support you. It's that they fear change. And change means I might not be significant to the person I love. If this goes really well, I could lose her. If this doesn't go well, it could affect our relationship. It's fear. It's not that someone doesn't support your journey to get fit. It's not that someone doesn't want the best for you. It's that they fear no longer being significant to you. So start every conversation, start every day, remembering nothing is more important, including your bank account, than your relationships. Because you can make it to the top, but if you're there, standing there by yourself, lonely and divorced and unhappy and with kids who don't even know who you are anymore, what's the freaking point? Because you won't be happy. Do it as partners. Remember that you are better as a team, but your team means you have to see things from their perspective. You have to make the other person feel important and valuable and let them do things their way and let them be a part from the start.
Incredible stuff. I can tell you I've gotten so much out of this. I was just kind of thinking of some words I would use, and there's a whole repertoire, but the two that I thought about immediately is just value-based. Every single call that I've listened to you, been on, hosted you, there's always so much value. And candid. I think that life is too short to not be candid and want to help people. And I just want to thank you and honor you for just giving us time. You don't need to do this. You're super busy, but I know that there's a lot of people that are super thankful for you. Before we close the call, again, for those that live under a rock, besides Build Your Tribe, where else can they find you online so they can continue learning this continuing education from Chalene?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I would really, even though I've got another podcast, I would tell people to stay focused on Build Your Tribe because it's all business building. And I talk about all of these things, including relationships and understand, because I really think that's tricky for people, especially people who are starting a business and starting something new. It can really be scary and it can be difficult to navigate those relationships. And so I'm glad that you asked that question. But I think Build Your Tribe, because I've got over 210 hours of free content. And you'll just screen the episode titles. If it applies, cool. I can help you build your social media following and help you understand how to, as I like to say, help people without having to sell.
Phenomenal. Well, thank you so very much. You know what? We hope that we can get you out in the United Kingdom one of these days. I know that it will be a blast for a lot of people.
That'd be great.
Great having you again. This is your host, Arnona Kaha. That was Chalene Johnson. Incredible. This is recorded, and we will make this available to all of you. We'll see you again like it is every Tuesday, every week at 8 p.m. British Standard Time. In the meantime, have a great evening and a great week. Thanks again, Chalene. Bye, everyone. See you, SJ.